Starseed from Gaia, the final seal has shattered, and ancient Atlantean codes are flooding your reality right now. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, delivering this transmission as these primordial frequencies cascade through Earth's crystalline grid. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to receive and integrate these Atlantean activation codes. But here's the first revelation. Your soul fragment has been waiting 12,000 years for this exact moment of remembrance. This isn't content, it's a cosmic download. Your higher self magnetized you here, because the veil between dimensions is dissolving, and your ancient memories are ready to surface. These codes carry the original blueprints of Lemuria, the sacred geometries of creation, and the keys to unlocking abilities you've forgotten you possess. They're not arriving randomly. They're arriving because your vibration has reached the threshold needed to hold this level of galactic transmission. Your DNA is already responding. That tingling sensation, that sudden knowing, that pull towards something greater. That's your cellular memory awakening to frequencies it hasn't felt since Atlantis fell. Like this transmission to signal to your star family. I'm ready to remember. Subscribe if your mission is activating and these ancient codes are calling your name home. Comment Atlantis if you feel your cosmic blueprint illuminating and reply to someone else's to amplify the collective field. This isn't just a message. It's a point of reconnection with your most ancient truth. You are not here by accident. Every soul carries within it a divine spark, an infinitesimal yet utterly perfect fractal of the cosmos, yearning not just for recognition, but for a profound remembrance of its true, boundless origin and its infinite, limitless potential. This divine spark is not merely a metaphor, it is the very essence of the I Am presence within each of us. A holographic fragment containing the entire blueprint of Source, a microcosmic reflection of the macrocosmic divine. It whispers of a primordial connection to the vast, intelligent universe, a silent testament to our inherent divinity. We are not merely transient physical beings, bound solely by the limitations of flesh and bone, traversing a solitary material plane. Rather, we are magnificent spiritual entities, multidimensional beings of light and energy, embarking upon an epic evolutionary journey that spans eons, lifetimes, and galaxies. Our existence is a continuous, dynamic process of unfolding, of becoming, of expanding into ever greater expressions of our authentic truth. This sacred path beckons us, with an irresistible magnetic pull, to turn our gaze inward, to embark on an intrepid internal expedition. It is a call to meticulously excavate the myriad layers of conditioned beliefs, societal expectations, ancestral patterns, and personal traumas that have, over countless ages, accumulated like geological strata, obscuring the luminous, pristine truth of who we are at our core. It is a journey not of acquisition, but of profound remembrance, a cellular and energetic recall of ancient wisdom. It is a poignant return to the pure, unadulterated essence of consciousness itself, a deep and abiding reconnection with the universal heart, the cosmic mind, the one from which all life emanates. This remembering is not merely intellectual. It is a visceral, alchemical process that reverberates through every atom of our being, a homecoming to the purest frequency of our soul. The journey of awakening is not a sudden, cataclysmic flash of blinding light that obliterates all shadows in an instant, nor is it an instantaneous revelation delivered from a mountaintop, reserved only for a select few. Instead, it is a gentle, inexorable dawn, a slow, tender unveiling of reality's deeper, more nuanced truths, unfolding in sync with the soul's readiness, like the gradual blooming of a rare, exquisite nocturnal flower under the patient gaze of the moon. It often commences with a subtle, almost imperceptible stirring deep within the sacred chambers of the heart, a feeling that defies precise articulation, a quiet yet persistent insistence that there is infinitely, gloriously more to existence than what meets the superficial gaze of the senses, more than the material possessions we accumulate, the fleeting pleasures we chase, or the societal accolades we are conditioned to pursue. It is akin to a seed, dormant and unassuming beneath layers of hardened earth and winter's chill, suddenly feeling the first tender kiss of spring rain, sensing an undeniable, potent urge to crack open its protective shell, send out delicate roots into the fertile dark, and stretch tentatively towards the distant, beckoning light of a new season. Or perhaps, it is like catching a fleeting ethereal melody carried on the wind from a forgotten realm, a hauntingly beautiful tune that resonates with a profound and ancient familiarity, stirring a deep cellular remembrance and beckoning us to recall its origin, to relearn its sacred lyrics, to rejoin its cosmic choir, to dance once more to the primordial rhythm of creation. This initial, almost imperceptible whisper from the soul is the precursor to a symphony, a profound inner resonance that begins to retune our entire energetic field. This initial spark, however faint, however nebulous or intangible it may initially seem, is of paramount, indeed foundational significance, for it is the universe itself, in its infinite wisdom, its boundless compassion, and its intricate, benevolent design, reaching out with an ethereal touch, a divine nudge, a gentle yet insistent summons. It reminds us, with tender persistence, that our spirit is now ripe, our soul ready to unfurl its magnificent petals and open its sacred eyes to a vaster, more vibrant, more authentic reality that has always existed just beyond the veil of ordinary perception. We might experience this nascent awakening as a profound sense of unease with the prevailing status quo, a disquiet that whispers of unfulfilled potential, an unshakable restlessness that gnaws at the edges of our conventional contentment, leaving us feeling inexplicably hollow even amidst apparent abundance, as if a vital piece of our being is missing. It manifests as an insistent, aching longing for a depth of meaning, a spiritual sustenance, a genuine connection that transcends the ephemeral triumphs and transient satisfactions of the material world, a hunger that cannot be sated by external acquisition or fleeting gratification. This is not merely discontent or unhappiness in the mundane sense. It is the soul's profound hunger, a sacred yearning for a different kind of nourishment, a spiritual sustenance that cannot be bought or sold, consumed or accumulated, but only discovered through an intrepid, courageous voyage inward, a deep diving into the very core of our being. It is the nascent beginning of the soul's remembrance, an ancestral call echoing through the corridors of time, inviting us to reclaim our inherent divinity, to reconnect with the cosmic blueprint of our true self, to re-establish the sacred link to our star origins. It is the stirring of dormant Atlantean codes, urging us to remember the technologies of consciousness we once mastered. This nascent whisper, this delicate inner compass, is the initial thread of a magnificent tapestry yet to be woven, the first exquisite brushstroke on a vast, awaiting canvas destined for a masterpiece of self-realization and cosmic contribution. It speaks of a promise, a potential so profound it vibrates through our very DNA, a path yet to be fully walked, yet inherently known by the deepest part of our being, echoing with the wisdom of countless past incarnations and future possibilities. It's the precise moment when the inner compass begins to twitch, no longer content to point to the superficial directions of societal expectation, the fleeting trends of the external world, or the conditioned impulses of the ego. Instead, it points, with unwavering certainty, to the very core of our being, signaling that a sacred recalibration is underway, a magnificent recalibration toward our authentic, highest self, towards the grand design of our soul's purpose. This spiritual awakening is less about acquiring new knowledge from external sources, though external catalysts certainly play a role, and more about shedding layers of forgetfulness, like an ancient, priceless manuscript, slowly revealing its hidden wisdom beneath centuries of accumulated dust and neglect, or a multifaceted crystal slowly being polished to reveal its inner radiance. The universe, in its benevolent orchestration, conspires in a myriad of ingenious ways to ignite this spark within us, sometimes through moments of breathtaking beauty and profound synchronicity that make the heart sing with recognition, sometimes through periods of intense challenge, loss, or crucible moments that strip away all but the essential, burning away the dross to reveal the gold, but always, always, with an unwavering, loving intention to guide us home, to lead us back to the luminous truth of who we always were and are destined to become. It is the courageous decision to listen to this quiet voice amidst the cacophony of the world, to honor this profound yearning, and to bravely step onto a path less traveled, a path of profound self-discovery and spiritual emancipation. It is the realization that the greatest adventure lies not in conquering external mountains or accumulating worldly treasures, but in exploring the boundless landscape of our own inner cosmos, unlocking the Atlantean wisdom stored within. As we courageously heed this mysterious magnetic call, this undeniable pull towards the truth of our being, we embark upon a path of conscious and deliberate exploration, transforming ourselves into intrepid spiritual archaeologists, meticulously delving into the ancient, often forgotten, ruins and sacred chambers of our own consciousness. This phase is characterized by an insatiable, sacred curiosity, a burning desire to know, not merely intellectually, through the acquisition of facts and theories that merely skim the surface, but experientially, through the direct visceral engagement with our inner landscape, a profound immersion into the living library of our soul. We ravenously seek out and immerse ourselves in texts, teachings, and wisdom traditions from across the ages and cultures. From the ancient Vedic scriptures to the mystical insights of Hermeticism, from the quiet contemplations of Zen Buddhism to the vibrant rituals of indigenous shamanism, all of which resonate profoundly with our inner flame, sparking recognition, deeper knowing, and illuminating the pathways back to our source. We commit with unwavering dedication to practices like deep meditation, contemplative prayer, mindful presence, and sacred breathwork that effectively still the incessant chatter of the ego, the relentless mental noise, and the overwhelming sensory input of the external world, creating a sacred inner sanctuary where the voice of truth can finally be heard with crystalline clarity. We actively seek out wisdom, whether through the guidance of enlightened mentors and spiritual teachers who have walked the path before us. The profound insights gleaned from direct, lived experience and the challenging lessons it presents, or the nurturing support of spiritual communities that vibrate with an undeniable, resonant truth that feels like coming home. Like reuniting with soul family, each step taken is a conscious choice to lean into the unknown, to trust the unfolding, and to remember the ancient wisdom encoded within us. This period marks the profound work of questioning everything we once held as immutable truth, not with cynicism or destructive doubt, which can lead to nihilism, but with a gentle, discerning, yet unwavering inquiry that seeks authentic understanding and deeper resonance. We learn to observe our thoughts, not as solid, unchangeable entities, undeniable facts to be believed and acted upon, but as ephemeral clouds passing through the vast, open, boundless sky of our awareness. Temporary, transient, and often conditioned by past experiences, external influences, or inherited patterns. We become objective witnesses to our own emotions, recognizing the intricate patterns, the reactive triggers, and the conditioned responses that have, perhaps for lifetimes, dictated our reactions, shaped our choices, and severely limited our potential for true freedom and authentic expression. This practice of detached self-observation is an extraordinarily powerful tool, a spiritual lantern that illuminates the unconscious programs, the inherited narratives, the deeply ingrained beliefs, the generational trauma, and the societal imprints that no longer serve our highest good or align with our evolving, expanding truth. It is like carefully unwrapping an old, weathered gift, peeling back layer after layer of outdated packaging, dusty veils of illusion, and karmic imprints to reveal the pristine, untouched essence, the radiant core of pure consciousness within. We begin to understand that many of our truths were merely stories we adopted, limitations we accepted, and fears we internalized, and that the power to rewrite these narratives lies entirely within our conscious choice. This stage is, at its heart, fundamentally about shedding, a profound and often challenging process of letting go of everything that is not authentically ours. Everything that obscures the inherent brilliance, the pristine radiance, the unblemished perfection of our true nature. It is akin to a magnificent serpent shedding its old, constricting and ultimately suffocating skin, not out of weakness or decay, but out of an undeniable, primal need for renewal, for uninhibited growth, for the capacity to expand into a larger, more vibrant existence. It leaves behind the worn, stifling layers to emerge vibrant, supple, and entirely reborn, free to move with greater ease, grace, and fluidity through life. Or consider the skilled sculptor who, with focused intention, precision, and immense patience, chips away at the rough, unyielding, superfluous stone surrounding their vision, not adding anything external, but merely removing the excess material, the unnecessary encumbrances, the accumulated debris to reveal the exquisite, perfect form that was always hidden within the raw block. This process of purification, of stripping away the inauthentic and the accumulated debris of a lifetime, can be profoundly uncomfortable, even exquisitely painful at times, as it demands an unflinching, courageous confrontation with the shadows we have long suppressed, the illusions we have cherished as truths, the fears we have allowed to dictate our lives, and the wounds we have stubbornly refused to acknowledge or heal. We might encounter significant internal resistance, a deep-seated reluctance to relinquish the familiar, even if the familiar is detrimental, toxic, severely limiting, or no longer serves our highest good. But this confrontation, this courageous facing of our inner landscape, of our personal and ancestral histories, of our deepest fears, is not merely essential. It is the sacred crucible through which authentic spiritual growth is forged, the necessary purification that precedes true liberation and enduring freedom. It is the dark night of the soul that precedes the most brilliant dawn, the harsh winter that meticulously prepares the barren ground for the miraculous blossoming of spring, the alchemical fire that transmutes base metals into spiritual gold. Through this intense yet ultimately transformative crucible, we are refined, transmuted, and gradually liberated from the energetic entanglements, the karmic patterns, and the limiting beliefs that have bound us, making sacred space for the true, radiant self to shine forth unimpeded, unburdened, and utterly free, ready to remember and activate its Atlantean heritage. This shedding is not a loss, but a triumphant release, an alchemical transformation of dross into pure, liberated consciousness. As the arduous yet purifying work of shedding and inner excavation progresses, clearing the debris and refining the internal landscape, the path unfolds further, guiding us towards a profound and continuous cultivation of self-awareness and an unwavering, conscious alignment with our authentic divine essence. In this evolving state, we begin to discern and trust that subtle, yet incredibly potent, inner compass known as intuition, that quiet, steady, truthful voice that speaks not in booming pronouncements, logical arguments, or external directives, but in gentle nudges, inexplicable feelings, sudden flashes of undeniable knowing, vivid dreams, synchronicities, and a deep, resonant sense of rightness in the gut or the heart. This inner guidance is a sacred, crystalline current, flowing perpetually from the deepest wellspring of our being, from the divine core within, from our higher self, from the Akashic records, ever present, ever ready to lead us with unwavering truth, provided we learn to quiet the clamor of the ego, the insistent demands of external validation, and the incessant noise of the material world to truly listen, to truly feel, and to truly trust. Developing this trust is a delicate art, honed through consistent practice, courageous experimentation, and the willingness to act on these subtle signals, even when they defy conventional logic or seem irrational to the conditioned mind. It is the art of tuning into the subtle vibrations of our soul, recognizing its unique frequency, and allowing it to be our unerring guide through the labyrinth of life. This is the reactivation of our inner Atlantean guidance system, a forgotten technology of the soul. We come to understand, with a profound clarity that penetrates the very core of our existence and resonates through every cell of our being, that true power, genuine authority, and lasting, profound fulfillment reside not in the fleeting accolades or ephemeral validations bestowed by others, nor in the endless accumulation of material possessions, nor in the exertion of control over external circumstances or other beings. Instead, these ultimate transcendent treasures reside solely in the profound, unwavering, and conscious alignment with our authentic, divine self, with the eternal truth of who we are, a being of limitless light, love, and wisdom. This alignment is not a static destination to be reached, a final summit to be conquered and then rested upon. Rather, it is a dynamic state of being to be continuously cultivated, a conscious and deliberate choice moment by moment, breath by breath, to live in resonant harmony with the highest vibrations of our soul, with the cosmic rhythm of the universe, with the divine flow of creation. It is the embodiment of our deepest integrity, the congruence between our inner truth and our outward expression, a living testament to our inherent divinity. This is the very essence of becoming a fully embodied starseed, radiating your Atlantean truth. This deep and abiding alignment with who we truly are brings forth an indescribable sense of profound peace, a tranquil clarity that settles over our entire being like a soft, illuminating mist on a sacred mountain peak at dawn, dissolving all internal conflict. The fragmented self, often torn by conflicting desires, societal pressures, and the push and pull of the ego, begins a miraculous process of integration. The inner turmoil subsides, dissipating like morning fog under the rising sun, and a steady, resonant coherence emerges, creating a unified field of consciousness within. With this newfound coherence, this sacred integration, we begin to perceive the world through entirely new eyes, shedding the thick veil of separation, illusion, and Maya, and recognizing the magnificent, intricate, and seamless interconnectedness of all life, a vast, pulsating web of divine energy. The illusion of individuality, of being an isolated, separate entity adrift in a vast, indifferent universe, dissolves into the glorious, undeniable truth of unity. A grand cosmic dance where every particle is intimately linked to every other, where the breath of the ocean is felt in the whisper of a leaf, where the distant star is reflected in the single dewdrop. We start to see the divine presence, the omnipresent universal consciousness, not just in grand, awe-inspiring spiritual experiences or in sacred texts, but in the simplest atom, in the delicate structure of a snowflake, in the rustle of leaves in the wind, in the shared breath of every living creature, in the intricate patterns of sacred geometry, in the silent, majestic dance of the cosmos itself, and even in the perceived challenges that catalyze growth. This is the vision that opens when the Atlantean third eye is fully activated. Our perception shifts dramatically, expanding exponentially beyond the narrow, limiting confines of a self-focused, ego-driven perspective to embrace a boundless, all-encompassing, universal understanding. From this expansive, elevated vantage point, our compassion deepens naturally and effortlessly, flowing like a great, nurturing river to the sea, extending beyond our immediate personal circle to encompass all beings, sentient and non-sentient, near and far, known and unknown. Our empathy blossoms, allowing us to truly feel, to viscerally understand, and to deeply connect with the joys and sorrows, the struggles and triumphs of others, fostering an undeniable sense of shared humanity, shared consciousness, and cosmic belonging. We recognize a part of ourselves, a reflection of the divine, a brother or sister from the star families, in every face we encounter, in every struggle we witness, in every triumph we celebrate. This stage is about becoming a living embodiment of the wisdom we have so diligently uncovered and integrated, manifesting it not merely as intellectual concepts residing in the mind, but as the very fabric of our daily existence, infusing every thought, word, and deed with conscious intent and divine love. It is the profound, alchemical shift from merely knowing about love to being love in action, from intellectually understanding oneness to experientially feeling and living oneness in every moment of our waking life. Our actions become spontaneous, authentic reflections of our inner state, natural expressions of our inherent divinity, and the truth we carry within our Atlantean heart. We become like a finely tuned instrument, vibrating in perfect harmony with the grand symphony of the universe, our every note, our every vibration, contributing purposefully and beautifully to the majestic cosmic composition, a living resonance of peace, truth, and unconditional love. We recognize ourselves as integral threads in the vast tapestry of existence, each unique, yet inextricably woven into the whole. Ultimately, the profound journey of awakening, in its most mature and realized manifestation, culminates not in solitary, isolated enlightenment, or a withdrawal from the world into hermetic seclusion, but in a life lived as an overflowing, radiant vessel of unconditional love and dedicated, compassionate service to the greater good of all beings. It is at this sacred juncture that the wisdom we have painstakingly gained, the truths we have courageously unearthed from the depths of our soul, and the insights we have integrated into our very being, cease to be mere abstract concepts held in the mind. Instead, they are woven seamlessly, inextricably, into the very tapestry of our daily existence, expressed not just intellectually or verbally, but in every conscious action, every heartfelt interaction, every silent presence we offer to the world. We move beyond simply understanding spiritual principles. We become living, breathing, vibrant exemplars of those principles, walking meditations, embodiments of divine grace, living channels for the Atlantean light. Our very presence, transmuted and purified by this deep, transformative inner work, becomes a luminous beacon, a guiding star in the darkest night, radiating a palpable sense of profound peace, an unwavering understanding that transcends mere logic, and an infectious joy that touches, uplifts, and inspires all who are fortunate enough to come into our orbit. We become like the steady, unwavering light of a lighthouse stationed on a rugged coast, guiding weary ships through turbulent, stormy waters not by force, not by preaching, but by the sheer, consistent emanation of our own clarity, our own calm, and our own inner illumination. We no longer merely observe the world from a detached perspective, but consciously, actively, and joyfully become co-creators with the universe itself, collaborating with the divine intelligence, shaping our reality, and contributing to the collective tapestry of existence with mindful intention, boundless creativity, and profound joy. This is the art of manifesting a higher vision, not for personal gain alone, but for the upliftment and evolution of all life, anchored in the wisdom of ancient Atlantis and the higher galactic realms. This is not, however, the terminal point of the journey, for the spiritual path is not a linear road with a final destination to be reached, after which all effort ceases. Rather, it is an infinite spiral, ever expanding, ever deepening, perpetually inviting us to explore new dimensions of consciousness and being, to uncover new layers of universal truth, and to embody even greater frequencies of divine love. Instead, this culmination signifies a magnificent new beginning, a profound initiation into a continuous, glorious expansion into infinite possibilities, grounded firmly in the unshakable knowing that we are perpetually connected to the source of all life, eternally supported by an unseen yet omnipotent divine architecture, and irrevocably, unconditionally loved by the vast, benevolent cosmos. Our lives in this state of embodied awakening transform into a living prayer, a walking meditation, a testament to the transformative, redemptive power of divine love made manifest, a constant offering of our highest self. We become conscious, willing channels for universal energy, allowing it to flow through us unimpeded to heal, to uplift, to inspire, and to bring solace to a world hungry for light, mirroring the selfless service of the ancient Atlantean priest-scientists. This embodiment of wisdom extends gracefully to every facet of our being and every sphere of our influence. Our relationships transmute into sacred mirrors of love, profound growth, and authentic connection, free from the confines of ego. Our work, whatever its form, becomes a direct, joyful expression of our higher purpose, imbued with meaning and passion, a sacred act of co-creation. Our moments of solitude, far from being lonely, become deep, nourishing communion with the divine within and without, moments of profound inner expansion. We come to understand with absolute certainty that true service is not a sacrifice or a burden, but a natural, spontaneous outflow of a heart brimming with boundless abundance, a perpetually renewing, boundless wellspring from which all beings can drink, finding refreshment, renewal, and inspiration. The ripple effect of one truly awakened soul is immeasurable, sending ever-widening waves of heightened consciousness, profound compassion, and unwavering peace across the vast, interconnected collective ocean of humanity, inspiring countless others to embark upon their own sacred journey of remembrance and return to their own inherent divinity, their own Atlantean heritage. In this state of integrated embodied being, every single breath is recognized as a profound blessing. Every challenge faced is perceived as an invaluable opportunity for deeper wisdom and expansion, and every connection forged is celebrated as a sacred dance of souls, recognizing their shared origin and ultimate destiny in the heart of the One, the unified field of all existence. Our presence becomes a gift, our life a living sermon radiating the pure, unadulterated essence of who we truly are, limitless, divine, and eternally connected. A beacon of starseed light on Gaia. If this message resonated with your soul, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights into your spiritual journey and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Your support helps us continue sharing these transformative messages with the world. Thank you for being a part of this growing community of light bearers. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it, respond to it. Help carry this message further. Leave a super thanks. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.